The Leprechaun is a C-tier villain with an A-tier evolution, and there's nowhere he won't go to recover his goal. Let's go through his looks, abilities, and story animated.
That's right, everyone. You read that title correctly. We're going to be doing something a bit different compared to how we normally do these. First off, we're reacting to the evolution of Leprechaun.
Whatever you do, don't touch the medallion.
Shout out to Teleanimated for making the original video. It'll be linked in the description. But also, after each one, we're going to do a tier list of choosing which one's the best and which one is the worst. Comment down below which one is your favorite. Personally, for me, it's between Leprechaun 3 and Leprechaun in the Hood. I mean, those two are just freaking awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Editor, roll that intro.
The Leprechaun first wears a green tuxedo, red shorts, striped socks, and heeled shoes. He has craggy skin, curly hair, poor dental hygiene, a tiny top hat, and an affinity for shining shoes.
Okay, I think I missed the shining shoes part when I
lost
first
limbs,
watched it.
mimic voices, use force powers, and teleport. After searching for his lost shilling, he's fed a 4-leaf clover that melts his skin before falling down a well. That gets drenched in gasoline and engulfed in an explosion.
Okay, so the first film, obviously, it's the original. Let's just put that in S tier. A lot of people say it's one of the worst horror franchises, while not being the best, with that being Friday the 13th. I actually think it's underrated. Now, the original one's the original. It's goated. It's the first one. It's obviously going to be the best. So, S tier.
In the sequel, the Leprechaun sports a Robin Hood-style getup, complete with cape and
I don't know
pointy
how I
hat,
feel
and
about
his hair
that
is longer
Robin
and
Hood
lighter.
look.
In this film, strangely, his nails are sometimes red. Fast forward 1,000 years, and he's back in his usual attire, but with a red and blue vest, a purpley lapel, puffy cuffs, darker shorts, smaller buckles, socks with thinner stripes, and he's extremely bald. His new skills include creating realistic illusions and shape-shifting. This time, he aims to claim a young bride, but is stabbed with an iron rod, blowing him apart.
Okay, honestly, didn't really hate the sequel, honestly. I mean, it's not as good as the original. I'll be nice. I'll give it A tier. And also, he was trying to get married in that movie. Congratulations, buddy. And the only reason why I say that is because short kings, we have to stick together.
In the third film, Lep first appears
this
as
was
a
my
stone
favorite one,
statue,
guys.
but after his medallion is removed, he's brought back to life. His lapel is no longer purple, his vest is a dark blue, and his sleeves feature an additional chain. His shorts are now brown, his sock stripes are even thinner, his shoe buckles are rounder, and his skin is more heavily dotted. He also dresses in a lawyerly outfit, religious robes, a psychic getup, doctor's scrubs, and magician's attire. This film also portrays him expanding people to explosion.
Okay, that could have been left out.
Mixed with his blood, can turn his victim into a Lep human.
That was my favorite part of the
Lep
entire
hits
movie.
Vegas in search of his booty, but when it's burnt, he sets ablaze.
Okay, obviously, you guys know Leprechaun 3. It's one of my favorite Leprechaun movies. So, I give that one instant S tier, but below Leprechaun 1, since that one, that one's the first one. But Leprechaun 3 is one of my favorites.
Leprechaun 4 introduces Leprechaun in a black tuxedo, wooing a space
like the black
princess.
tuxedo look.
While his main look remains consistent, the buckle on his hat is more circular. He also wears a sheriff costume, safety helmet, and a hazmat spacesuit. After being
all the
obliterated
costumes
and
that this dude
peed on,
wears.
his spirit flows into the miscreant, allowing him to rematerialize. And he has the power to create force fields now. He faces off against space marines, which accidentally enlarge him, but he's sucked into space and bursts apart.
Okay, in all honesty, I love all the costumes that he uses throughout the series, plus I love the black suit that he used at the beginning. But it might be one of my least favorite films in the franchise. I'm going to give it D tier, because honestly, while it's not a bad film, it's not good either. You know what? I'll give it C tier. It's decent.
In Leprechaun in the Hood, Lep appears as a stone statue. Again,
Another stone
gets
statue.
awoken briefly, and then transformed into a different-looking statue. Years later, he's unleashed, but his skin is darker, his hair even longer, and he sometimes sports snazzy shades.
I really like those shades. Hey Lep, guess what? We're matching now.
His new powers consist of creating electrical currents and possessing people. He hits the hood looking for his magical flute, and then steps in to manage a rising rap star.
Okay, Leprechaun in the Hood. Not only is it one of my favorite films, little fact for you, it's also my mom's favorite film in the franchise. So I'm gonna put it in S tier because that is a really good movie. It's a really good film in the franchise.
In Back to the Hood, Leprechaun's clothes are darker, and he wears a long coat,
I like the
dress
darker
shirt,
look.
and a fancy cloak. His top hat is taller, and his face is slightly orange in tone. He lacks most of his powers, but his eyes can glow demon red. He's
I love the
condemned
demon red
and
eyes.
dragged into hell. Then, when his gold is discovered, he climbs out to reclaim it. But he gets crisped in an oven, shot with clover-laced bullets, and knocked into wet cement.
Okay, I have a question. Why is it called Back to the Hood? When did he leave?
Boo! You stink!
Yeah, I know, that was a terrible joke. Honestly, it's not that bad of a film. It's not as good as, like, say, Leprechaun in the Hood or Leprechaun 2. I'm gonna give it B tier.
The reboot, Leprechaun Origins,
Oh, no.
features a hunched goblin with an extremely deformed face. He can be imprisoned by ancient monoliths and
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro, but, like, what the freak even is this thing? I'm being serious, guys. What is this thing? Seriously, this thing isn't even a leprechaun. They could have at least given him, like, a lumpy top hat, or maybe even, like, a dirty jacket or something to distinguish him as the leprechaun. God, that is definitely the worst movie remake.
and loves to feast on tasty people, but is easily decapitated and promptly forgotten.
Okay, guys, when I said it was the worst movie remake, I'm not wrong, but I might have been a little bit harsh. Personally, in my opinion, I think this film is severely underrated. Nonetheless, it still gets F tier because that is definitely the worst one in the franchise. I just think it's just a little bit underrated because it was the first one I've seen, and what even is this thing? However, I do like the concept of him being a goblin who steals people's gold and, likes to eat people. Honestly, that's probably what the Leprechaun should have been.
Ignoring all the sequels,
Oh, we got the direct
Leprechaun
sequel.
Returns opens with one of Lep's survivors accidentally ingesting his well water, leading to Lep's rebirthing. He appears shorter and sports a brown suit, socks with much thinner stripes, an overcoat covered in fungus, while his nose is hooked and his skin is green and he has yellow eyes, more curved ears, and longer hair. His hat is smaller and
I
covers
really
up
like
a
this
prominent
look
bald
for the
spot.
Leprechaun.
He can now remove his face and also
Honestly.
hide inside
Like the whole, hooked nose, long beard, and, a fungus around his head. Not to mention the fact that he is shorter, so... Yeah, and leprechauns are known for being short.
his hat. Although sorority girls explode him to goo, he rematerializes
Jesus, that's
as miniature
disgusting.
clones and reforms as a full-size Lep. Eventually, the girls electrocute him to flames, leaving him in need of a crucial makeover.
Okay, Leprechaun Returns. I like it. Honestly, I'll give it A tier because it comes directly after the events of the first movie. Honestly, if I was to compare it to another movie series that has a direct sequel in it, I'd probably say Halloween. That one's just a little bit better. Honestly, I think they did a really good job with this right here. I know that some direct sequels were bad. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But this is one of the ones that I think is actually good. Alright, let's take a look at this tier list. In S tier, we got Leprechaun 1, 3, and To the Hood. Would that one technically be considered Leprechaun 5? In A tier, we got Leprechaun 2 and Leprechaun Returns. B has Back to the Hood, and 4 has In Space. D doesn't have anything, and F is Origins. Let me know if you guys agree with these rankings, and if you don't, let me know what your rankings are in the comments. But that's where we're going to end it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, comment down below what you guys thought, and also subscribe for more videos. Shout out to Teleanimated for making the original video we reacted to. The original video will be linked in the description. Be sure to leave a comment on what your favorite Leprechaun film is. For me, it's either Leprechaun 3 or Leprechaun in the Hood. Also, if you want to see a tier list on anybody else, leave a comment on who it should be. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching. Golden Family.